Hey there. Do people surprise you ever? Do they act in ways that you never would? Today, I'm talking about some strange things that people do. You'll find out.
English Without Fear, where you can learn to speak English naturally through listening to stories.
My husband came home from the office a couple weeks ago, surprised at his boss's reaction when he announced, I'm going to retire in 3 months at the end of September. They didn't say much. They didn't ask any questions about, Mike, why are you retiring now? What are you going to do? Would you be interested in some part-time consulting work? Nope. All they said was, well, we have to get started finding a replacement for you. I thought that was strange. Furthermore, when he told his team members that he was going to retire, the 4 or 5 men with whom he works very closely, they didn't ask any questions either. It's as though they are not curious. What's up with that? Are people so self-centered that it doesn't cross their mind, it doesn't occur to them to ask a question? I think Mike felt a bit hurt. I would have too. Here's another strange reaction that I encountered last week. I have a friend named Mary. She used to be the Spanish teacher in my school in Virginia, and I taught French and logic. I've since moved away, and she teaches at a different school. And every 6 months or so, we connect by phone and catch up on each other's lives. She has 3 kids. I have 2 sons and some grandchildren. So we catch up. Last week when we talked, I spent 45 minutes listening to her, asking questions about how things were going with her husband's business and what each of the grown kids was doing. And after 45 minutes, I paused, I stopped to give her some space to ask me about my family and about what I'm doing. There was silence. She didn't say a word. I waited another 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and finally, briefly, I told her a little bit about our sons and what I'm doing and how Mike is planning to retire. But it was one of those one-sided conversations. And I remembered, oh yeah, this happened last time. In fact, I think it happens every time Mary and I catch up. I don't know why I still stay in contact with her. Strange. My last example of strange or weird or how different people are from me is my mother-in-law. Yes, a family member. She is 93 and lives in a retirement community, and she is the most negative, critical person I have ever known in my life. She's always been that way. My poor husband grew up with her. She sees everything through gray-colored glasses. I don't know if that's an expression that really exists. The glass is always half empty. Have you heard that? People who are positive say, oh, look, I have a half a glass of orange juice, or I have half a cup of coffee, and they're pleased. My mother-in-law says, "Ah, my glass is half empty," or something like that. What that works out to be is she'll never say something like, "Oh, those eggs were so good." If something is good, she'll say, "Well, they weren't bad." She never raves about a thing. To rave about something is to say, "Boy, was that wonderful." She never says anything positive. She always finds something wrong. And it's usually the first thing she'll say to you. My husband went out there to visit her 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when he walked into her retirement building lobby and she was waiting for him. Do you know what she said? She didn't say, "Michael, I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for flying all the way across the country." She said, "You haven't shaved yet." What's up with that? I don't like people who are always negative. Do you? I think people are strange. But who knows what they think of me? Anyway, tell me what you think about people. Do you know some people who do weird things? Do you know negative people? Do you know people who never are curious about you? What's your theory about why they act that way? Anyway, that's it for this episode. I'm Maria from English Without Fear. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching. For questions or comments, here's my email